CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
Obviously, there is a need to fund more schools and the teachers for those schools, so I understand why the provincial government is asking for that money. We are serving as the middleman for what is a provincial service.
Mayors in both Edmonton and Calgary are dealing with the province's property tax increase in Budget 2026. The province says the tax hike is necessary to pay for higher spending in school systems this year. Good evening. A portion of your property tax bill is going up by about 13% this year to cover that education spend. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, Alberta's big city mayors are responding to the increase in different ways.
Mayor Andrew Knack is tired of taking the blame for taxes his council didn't approve.
We are serving as the middleman for what is a provincial service.
As Alberta stares down a $9 billion deficit, the province is taking more money from property owners to pay its education bills. The budget projects a $1 billion increase in property tax revenue over 5 years. It means in 2026, the average Edmonton homeowner will pay an extra $150 to the province, collected by the city.
That's not municipal responsibility. We shouldn't be collecting provincial taxes for provincial services.
We're not going to create duplicate systems to collect these things.
Finance Minister Nate Horner has no interest in collecting property taxes, instead suggesting cities could communicate more clearly on tax notices.
Have a line item that makes it clear that this is because of the province. I have no issue with that.
Meanwhile, down the QE2,
hey Calgary, it's Mayor Jeremy.
Mayor Jeremy Farkas is also frustrated by provincial taxes.
Here's the bottom line. The provincial government is imposing the biggest property tax increase in Calgary's history.
Farkas is making his point using language political watchers may find familiar.
We don't want Calgary to be treated like some would say Alberta is treated by others in the rest of Canada. I get that there's an equalization formula that the UCP government proposes or supports. Transparency about these transfer payments that the provincial government up in Edmonton is asking Calgarians to pay.
Political spin aside, Alberta sets one tax rate for all residential properties in the province. Since homes in the capital are worth less on average, Edmonton tax bills are smaller too. While Minister Horner isn't entertaining changes to tax collection, he has suggested Alberta's tax structure could use a refresh. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta is experiencing its worst flu season on recent record, which has one emergency room doctor calling on the province to take more action.
And then the province, could have probably done a better job trying to get Albertans to get immunized. Just remember, it's a preventable disease by and large. And even if the vaccine strain wasn't perfectly matched, it still reduces the severity.
According to the province's dashboard, 255 people have died from the flu so far this season. That's compared to 236 last year. The Ministry of Primary and Preventative Health Services says we hope they won't increase much further, as total cases and severe outcomes have dropped sharply following the very high peak in late December. The ministry says it plans to spend $140 million next year to strengthen immunization efforts, which includes radio, TV, and social media campaigns. Evergreen Catholic Schools says a person with a confirmed case of the measles recently attended a Spruce Grove Elementary School while infected. The school board says it was informed about the case at St. Marguerite Catholic School by Primary Care Alberta. It says it's working with PCA to ensure appropriate measures are taken to ensure the health of students, staff, and families. PCA says case details are confidential and it won't comment further. Nearly 2 weeks ago, a measles outbreak was declared for all of Parkland County, which includes Spruce Grove. The parents of a man from Edmonton are pushing for charges to rules surrounding when murderers in Canada can apply for parole. Their son was working as a security guard and was killed at the Hub Mall in 2012. Brian's bill goes before the House of Commons for a second reading next week and then a vote at the end of the month. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
This is his smile, his precious smile, infectious smile, I'd say.
Old photographs are the only way Diane and Michael Lissick get to see their son Brian smile.
Brian was 35 years old when his life was taken. And like Diane said, he was very happy and, very happy that he got a new job.
Brian was working for security company G4S in 2012. He was one of 3 guards his co-worker shot and killed during a robbery at Hub Mall. A 4th guard who was shot survived. The man responsible, Travis Baumgartner, was handed 3 life sentences to be served consecutively with no chance of parole for 40 years.
It was the harshest sentence in Canada, yes, since the abolishment of capital punishment, I believe.
The only justice that they felt was believing that they would never have to face a parole hearing in their lifetime.
But a Supreme Court decision now means the man who killed the Illicic's son can apply for parole after serving just over half of his 40-year sentence.
It does shake up people who have attended the parole board and be present in the midst of the murderer.
It's why, with help from 2 local Conservative MPs, they're pushing for change.
I think this is a reasonable amendment to the Corrections and Conditional Release Act because murder is a life sentence, and a life sentence should mean something.
Brian's bill would mean people convicted of first-degree murder could apply for parole after 25 years or between 10 and 25 years for second degree. If denied, they'd have to wait 5 years before they could apply again.
We really do not want to have to face him year after year. It is far too difficult.
Liberals talk about wanting to be tougher on crime, tougher on bail and so forth. So I hope that they really will see this as it's a good way to favor the rights of victims for a change.
The bill will be before the House of Commons for a second reading next week. Then a vote at the end of the month will decide if it should be sent to the Justice Committee.
And that's one of the pitches I'm making to fellow MPs of all political stripes. We can work together on this.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton police are warning about a string of break-and-enters near both White Mud and Black Mud Creek ravines. Police say the thieves will usually smash glass in the rear window or door of a home before grabbing jewelry and high-end clothing. They then take off in a newer model vehicle that's waiting outside. Surveillance video has caught a silver GMC Terrain as well as a Ford Escape outside targeted homes. EPS believes the houses are targeted at random and when no one is around. It suggests when you're not at home, you should leave some lights on and lock up your valuables. RCMP are sharing results and video of a bait car program used in several Alberta communities over the past year. GPS and video-equipped vehicles were placed in areas known to have a high risk of auto theft. Cameras were rolling on nearly 30 bait vehicle deployments, leading to the arrests of 22 people. Video was shared from Red Deer, Vegreville, and Sherwood Park, and this one near Wetaskiwin, where 2 people leapt from a moving vehicle. Police say a majority of the arrests were people who consistently engage in criminal activity.
Without getting into the specifics, what I'll tell you is we use data and intelligence to inform all of our decisions. So we know hotspots where there's a lot of vehicle thefts happening. We also know typically what vehicles are being stolen and targeted, and we make our decisions according to that data.
RCMP say local detachments using bait equipment have seen auto theft drop by a third. A 19-year-old from Edmonton is wanted in connection with 2 deadly shootings in the Toronto area. The Toronto Police Service has an arrest warrant for Isaiah Thomas Badger. He's facing first-degree murder charges in connection with a shooting outside a shopping mall last month. A 37-year-old man was sitting in his car when he was shot and killed. Badger is also wanted for first-degree murder in a January shooting. A 65-year-old man was leaving his business when he was shot and killed. Another 19-year-old is also wanted for first-degree murder in that case.
We're coming for you. Turn yourselves in. Hire a lawyer. And to anyone else who has assisted these 2 individuals, including anyone who may be helping them evade police, you are committing a criminal offense.
Police say Badger is 6 foot 3 inches tall, about 117 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Badger also has outstanding weapons charges back in Alberta. Drivers in our province have gotten used to annual insurance rate hikes for their vehicles. Albertans now have the 2nd highest auto insurance premiums in the country. CTV's Tyler Barrow explains why our payments are so high and what the government plans to do about it.
Denise Sharma moved here from BC over 18 months ago. The cost of car insurance quickly caught his eye.
In BC, I was paying almost $200. Here I'm paying $400. It's like double of that. It's pretty expensive here.
Albertans paid over $1,800 in annual premiums in 2025, according to Automobile Insurance Rate Board. That's more than $700 higher than rates in PEI and second only to Ontario. Premiums have been rising over 10% in 2 years since 2023.
They're high. They're a little crazy right now.
Rate Hub's Morgan Roberts highlights severe weather leading to more claims along with car-related thefts.
The more theft you have, the higher the loss ratios, the more the insurance companies have to pay out.
According to the province's rate board, the main factor is the cost of bodily injury claims, which covers compensation for crash victims, including legal fees. In 2020, the average claim was $83,000, but it's now over $140,000.
It's been like a 75% increase in these costs in the last 5 years, and that is what's driving insurance premiums.
That's why the government is moving to a no-fault insurance model. In a statement, the Ministry of Finance said it recognizes the high cost drivers are facing, as it will implement the Care First insurance model starting January 1st, 2027. It will aim to reduce the need for costly court battles.
And by pulling litigation out of the system, they're also going to be able to improve the price you're paying for insurance moving forward.
Hopefully driving down the price of insurance for people like Denise Sharma.
I really hope it come down because I really want it. You cannot pay $400 every month.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
No major announcements from NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman today during his visit to Calgary. There was speculation he may have had something to say regarding the 2028 World Cup of Hockey.
I'm not here to break any news. I will tell you what my day has been like in case you're interested.
Bettman met with Flames ownership and toured the team's future arena, Scotia Place, which is currently under construction. The NHL's World Cup of Hockey is returning in 2028. The Premier says the province is putting up $15 million to bid on the tournament. If successful, Edmonton and Calgary would both host games. Bettman says he's aware of Alberta's interest.
Bids are being evaluated. Nothing has been finalized, but it was a good bid. I'm not prepared to tell you today that it was or was not the winning bid, but certainly it's a bid that people could be very proud of.
Bettman says he expects to announce the winning bid in a couple of weeks. The NHL has held a World Cup of Hockey 3 times since 1996. Fans of the Edmonton Oilers will have to wait a little bit longer to see the team's newest defenseman in action. The Oilers traded a second-round pick to the Chicago Blackhawks yesterday for Connor Murphy. He arrived in Edmonton late this afternoon, which was not a lot of time before tonight's game. The team says they're happy they could get another player without losing a key piece of their roster.
He definitely adds a really good component to our group. Steady back there, hard to play against, so yeah, he'll be great for us.
Not fun to play against, which is always a good sign. Just solid player. I think he can really help for sure.
It takes a lot of stress off of a lot of the defensemen who've been playing a lot of minutes, but I think our 2 ailments this year, it's not producing more offense. It's been defending, and that's 5-on-5 defending, and he'll certainly help with the penalty kill also.
Chris Knobloch expects Murphy will play his first game on Friday when the Oilers host the Carolina Hurricanes. Municipal leaders from central Alberta are back from a trip to Ottawa. They're trying to convince lawmakers to reverse a decision to shut down a federal research facility.
From soil and forage development to livestock genetics to federally inspected processing and carcass analysis, all on one site. Few facilities in Canada combine this level of integration.
To forego research and development in a sector that contributes so significantly to Canada's GDP is not finding efficiencies, it is being short-sighted.
Last Thursday, the Lacombe County Reeve and Lacombe's mayor spoke at the House of Commons. The federal government has said it will be closing Lacombe's Research and Development Centre that's been there for 119 years.
I feel like it was well received. I think that we were heard, and I'm feeling a lot more optimistic after my trip than before.
Not only ourselves, but other commodity groups and provincial governments even advocate for the retention of these facilities. We've been successful to date, and I'm hoping that that message resonates.
Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada will continue to operate facilities in Lethbridge and Beaver Lodge. Coming up next, a modern type of job fair that aims to help attendees spruce up their online portfolios and resumes for the age of AI. Also just ahead, Calgary's water main is going to cost more than originally planned to fix, which means utility rates in that city could jump.
Previous councils have underfunded maintenance and new capital infrastructure for the essential services just like water. It's time that we have to catch up.
Good evening, folks. -6 for a daytime high in Edmonton, although that was at around 4 o'clock this morning. Temperatures, as expected, slid through the day, and this afternoon we were around -12. Should be back into the -8 range tomorrow, and then a big warm-up on Thursday. Closer look at all that in just a few minutes.
A local job fair is using AI, professional photography, and more to give applicants the best shot it can in more ways than one.
I just want to drop it off from here at the
This career fair is a bit more in-depth than most. Norquest College hopes it will help students navigate a more difficult market.
So we would require you to be away from home for those weeks at a time.
From searching for postings to making sure you have an online presence and negotiating your first contract, organizers say landing that first job is different than it used to be.
This is a great opportunity for them to review and see what a good profile would look like, and because it's a game, it's easier for them to remember.
Norquest computer science students developed a game for the day, which they say helps impart important information better. It uses AI to determine how successful an applicant will be based on different factors and phrases in their online profiles, photos, and resumes.
The game will give you an opportunity to select your photo and a professional bio, which will be attracted to the recruiter.
We know that the job market is tight for everybody right now. We want to give our students the best possible shot.
Big smile, yeah, we got it.
Getting the best possible shot also involves having the best possible headshot, which is where professional photographers come in. While new technology helps, participants say it's also good to know how to do things the old-fashioned way.
Networking doesn't hurt. If they know a guy, that can help me get a job, right?
So have you heard of St. Albert, like the city of St. Albert?
We want people that truly can represent the best of us and to come to our school division.
St. Albert Public Schools is one of the recruiters here today, looking for candidates for new educational assistant positions.
And even right now, because we just got new complexity funding from the government, there's already some EA positions that are outposted now.
With those and other jobs up for grabs, Norquest says job fairs are more high stakes than in years past. Organizers hope this one will set students up for success.
Let them know, hey, I'm not your average student. I've got that experience, I've got that professionalism, and here's putting my best foot forward.
Cutting a pathway through a competitive market. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton. A local organization is reminding Edmontonians hearing loss is something most people will experience later in life. The Canadian Hard of Hearing Association hosted a hearing health fair in celebration of World Hearing Day. Along with hearing tests and hourly lectures, educational materials were on display at the Jerry Forbes Centre. Organizers say these kinds of events remove accessibility barriers and show people dealing with hearing loss that they're not alone.
The main goal today is to learn that there is support out there. It's not as hard as they think, and that there are many people that are affected with hearing loss, more than 100,000 in Edmonton, #1 disability in Canada.
The association also provides supports like speech reading classes and sign language classes. Fast-tracking repairs for Calgary's Bears Paw water main is coming at a big cost, with that city's council being asked for hundreds of millions of dollars more. City officials are seeking an additional $609 million. That means household utility rates in Calgary will jump by about $17 per month starting in 2027. The Bears Paw project is estimated to cost $439 million, including $318 million for the new line and $40 million to reinforce the old water pipe.
Previous councils have underfunded maintenance and new capital infrastructure for the essential services just like water. It's time that we have to catch up, and this is essential life-enabling services. We have to upgrade our system to a point where it meets the basic needs of Calgarians.
That funding request is on top of $1.1 billion for water infrastructure that was already approved for this year. Everything changed when the pipe burst again on the old line last December. And while the cloud and snow made it tough to see this morning's blood moon lunar eclipse over Edmonton, it was there, and other Canadians got quite the show. This was the view over Toronto early this morning. A total lunar eclipse turned the moon red. The Canadian Space Agency says what the phenomenon happens when the Earth moves between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow, turning the moon a deep red. The next total lunar eclipse won't happen until late 2028. Coming up after the break, entering the phonosphere. A private collection of music, records, and record players opened up to the public. What motivated an Alberta collector to open the doors to everyone?
About 15 years ago, I realized that I had reached a critical mass in my collection, and there were patterns in my collection that needed to be explored.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. As we mentioned earlier in the newscast, our high of -6 today came in at 4 a.m. We were about 10 degrees cooler than average through this afternoon. -12 for the afternoon hours. Average daytime high is -2. We're still way below average tomorrow, but only for one more day. Back above average and above zero, it looks like Thursday. We've got some more snow that'll fall across northern parts of the province overnight, and then tomorrow morning, just off to the northwest, especially around the Whitecourt area, pretty good shot of snow. You might see 5 to 10 centimeters of snow in through that Whitecourt region, and then pressing off to the northeast. Looks like that'll mostly, if not all, stay north of Edmonton. So through the course of the day today, there was some pretty consistent snow just on the northern edge of the Edmonton region, and I think that's going to be the case for the first half of the day tomorrow. We'll see what happens with this band that develops off to the southwest of us in the afternoon. That one may graze us. And so for most of the day, it's going to be just cloudy. But every now and then, like the last couple of days, you'll see a few occasional pockets of flurries. Big story is the warmer temperatures rolling in after tomorrow. We get a bit of moderation tomorrow afternoon, back to about -8. Above zero by a degree or two Thursday, and then watch that warm air spread further and further north and east into the weekend. You get temperatures that could be in the 20s in southern Alberta. I mean, it's been mid to upper teens the past couple of days across the south. But even in northern Alberta, where, I mean, today, Fort McMurray -20 for a daytime high, you're going to be above zero, it looks like, by Saturday. -24 tomorrow morning in Fort McMurray, -20 in Grand Prairie, will be around -14 in Edmonton and Red Deer. Daytime highs tomorrow, mid-minus teens. Fort McMurray, -12, -13 range further south. You get to about -9 in Grand Prairie. Jasper again, well above zero, -4 for Red Deer, and about -10 from Lloydminster south towards Coronation. We'll get to -8. Cloudy, occasional light snow. 1 on Thursday, and then 4, 7, and 5 for daytime highs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Don't forget it's time change this weekend. Clocks go ahead 1 hour, and then temperatures fall back once again for next week. Good chance of some snow Monday, and right back to a handful of degrees below zero for daytime highs. That is your forecast.
An Alberta collector has turned his private archive of records into a public museum, offering a glimpse into our country's past. CTV's Kevin Green has more.
Ken Murphy started collecting records as a child after his father brought home a Beatles album.
Some say it's a life misspent. I prefer to think it's a life full of passion.
It sparked a lifelong obsession with collecting and archiving artifacts and recorded music, which Murphy has now turned into a public gallery.
About 15 years ago, I realized that I had reached a critical mass in my collection, and there were patterns in my collection that needed to be explored.
The Vinyl-centric gallery's first exhibit, called Phonosphere, covers the period from 1948, when vinyl LPs debuted, to 1978. The exhibit showcases historic Canadian-made record players and offers a glimpse into the culture of the time.
Most record players were purchased during this era were purchased in appliance and furniture stores, not stereo stores or audio stores. And Mum was in charge of that process because we were buying furniture and it had to fit into her decor.
The museum highlights the birth and growth of Canada's recorded music scene, which until the early 1960s was almost non-existent. The Vinyl-centric gallery and archive is also digitizing Murphy's over 100,000 record collection of vinyl LPs.
I figure I'll be scanning for about 5 years, 5 days a week. I usually get in about 8 o'clock in the morning. a Scantel 3 or 4.
A visit to the museum features a curated background soundtrack of Motown, funk, disco, and rap. Murphy says he plans to add listening booths in a future phase. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Thanks for watching us tonight. For news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. From all of us at CTV, thanks for spending your time here. Have a good night.